Hello and welcome back to programming. This is video number 14 in my channel. It's going to be the fifth in the series. In this particular video I'll show you how to show the game, make and show the game properties. Okay. This good news for me. I don't have to limit my video to only 15 minutes. I can make the video as long as I want to, you know. But it might be bad news for you because I can linger more of what's irrelevant to what I wanted to teach, because I don't, my video, I don't prepare any script for it. So thank you for bearing with me. um, Now let's just recap what we have so far. We only have the one game, which is the default game, and it's correctly displayed in the GameArena window, but no property at the moment. Okay, so let's add another game then. I'll do that by simply copy the default game and refactor copy this, name it TestGame, and to make the two, to differentiate the two, I'll do this. And change the color to blue, so when it runs we'll have two buttons for the game. The first is the default game, the second one is still the default game, because we haven't changed the title for the test game. Change it back to test game. Let's see. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, we have two button, which does absolutely nothing. Now to make it do something, we need the following code. And then add action listener to the button. Okay, hit enter. New action listener. And ask NetBeans to help us with the code. Doesn't look. Okay, now when the user click the button, what we want to do is we want to change the game in the GameArena, the runner in the GameArena, to update its current displaying game. So we're going back to game runner. We need a way to set the current game. So set current game to be the given game. That's a way to do it. And then come back to the Game Explorer top component to say runner.setGame. Now let's see. What the errors are. First, we need the runner. Runner is not a game in Game Explorer. Runner is in AIArena top component. And we need a way to access this instance. We can lazily, not a very smart way to do it, but it's a quick way to do it. Change this to be static attribute, and then we can access from Game Explorer top component by saying GameArena top component.runner. That's it. Now the area under the runner is gone. The only area left in here is local variable game is accessed from within the init class. It need to be declared final. Help me. It just changed the declaration of the game to be final, and that will fix the whole thing, hopefully. Now when we run, we're gonna be able to switch back and forth between TestGame and the default game. Just simple as that. And now here come the tricky part: how to show the game property to the property panel or the property window. Now we need, first thing what we need to do is we need to make aware of the current game running, what the current games are. We're doing that by telling the platform of a particular running node. So we need a new class called GameNode, which will be extending AbstractNode. A node is simply a tracking object in the platform, in the NetBeans platform. So if we want to be able to track a game node, a particular game, we need to just basically having a game node. That is how it works, or that is at least what I know how it works. So let's implement the game node now. We implementing the game node with the following code. The game node will be the node for a particular game. Call it an object of particular. Call it a game, and we need to call a sub abstract node constructor, which will take in the type of the node and a lookup instance, which will be responsible for this particular object only. And we set the name of this particular node to be the title of the game, including the display name to be also be the title of the game. When this game node is activated, please show the following sheet. So we need a way to say that if a particular game node is activated, please have the following sheet display in the property window. sheet. Sheet is this. Okay, now we need to get the game object associated with this game node. How do we get that? We get that by saying game. We get that by the lookup of this node. Give me an object which is a game in which register in this particular game node. Once we have the game, then we can make a set. In a sheet we have we can have many different sets. In this case we only need one, so we'll just call it set A. We don't have any property in this particular set, so we just have the display name, set the display name of this to be game title. Any game property will be should be add that to set A from here, and then put the set back to the sheet before we return the sheet. Now we have the game node corresponding to a particular detail of a game object. We need a way to activate the node. We activated that when the user click on the button, so we go back to the game folder. Now what we do is set activate game node. This particular method require AIArena, but in this case we only need one, so I'll just create a new one. AbstractNode, and the only one node in this particular array is a new game node, which will take care of the game. This is how we set the this is how we activate game node. Okay, let's see how it works now. Do you notice anything different? The only thing different is that in this property window we have the title display up here and down here to for the detail. So it works. It changed. It used the property sheet in the game node corresponding to a particular selected game. Now, how do we put in property inside a set? We can go back to the game, and I add to the game setter and getter for the title. Set and get for the title. That's not very good, isn't it? We don't want users to change the title on the fly, because we tie the game up to its property. We use the title of the game to be the ID of the game. So let's have something else to be the property. How about the delay? We're gonna be using delay to be property. First, we need to change that to a wrapper class, int to integer, and then have all the setter and getter method. Now let's see if NetBeans can help me with this. Okay, generate setter and getter. But the error here is that it should return integer, the big one, the wrapper class, and we causing too many errors here. First is, oh, I just delete the get title from the game. It's my bad. So I'll get it back. That should fix it. Okay, now go back to the property game. We need to make the property to change the type of the property to be a wrapper class, and then having the setter and getter for the game, for the property. Then we go back to the GameNode. We do the following: created property, which will be the type of the attribute. The delay is integer. Delay property support integer. Reflection this is what we need. We call a reflection to create a property from the property support class, and in here we need to supply the object, the game object, and then the second one will be the type of the attribute, which is the integer. Third one's gonna be the property name. Name is delay. Okay, that should fix the error. What's the error? we need to report the no such method exception. We're gonna surround it by try and catch, and there's no class called property. There's class called property. I have fixed that. So next we need to set the name for this particular property to be delay. And next, set display name to be again delay, and delay property dot set the speed, just the description for the property. Set the speed of the game. And put the property to set A. Okay. Run. This should work fine. It will show the delay amount, and actually user should be able to specify the delay amount to set it into different values. And that's how it works. It will automatically update the game runner, because the game runner takes because the game runner sleep according to the current game delay of the current game. Now what's next? You can see that this way the only property that the only property that can be shown in the sheet is just the property declare in the superclass, which is the game. There's no way that the test game can declare its own property and put it in here. So what I'll do is that I make adding another class, which will be a list, which will be called GameProperty, which will keep the property up for the game. Now, what is needed in the property? It will actually need the type, the name, display name. Name and display name can be the same, so it will just need the type, then name, and short description. Okay, that should be it. So I'll make this public string name type description. Would that be it? And put this into a method of the game property. To return the property. Get property. And we need the class. We trust a name, and okay, please bear with me for a bit. I fixed the error, so reflection of type. And given a particular game, the type is just this is a type, and this is name. This is description. this might work. So you would need to skip most of this, and I need a constructor getting the name, type, and description. Or I can ask NetBeans to help me. I'm still skeptical about this code GameProperty. Anyway, so each game will have a list of game property. So I'll put the list of game property in abstract cards, which will be protected. List of game property, which I will simply call it properties. And the constructor, it will create a new properties. Then there's a way to get getter of the property. Now that should be okay. Now in the GameNode, we need to iterate over for each game property. Prop in game.get property. You want to add prop.get property. Set a dot add, not add put. Okay. So this way, TestGame and the default game can decide which of its attributes should be included as the game property. For example, this one might decide to set the angle to be one of its property. It can do that by first it needs a getter and setter, and second it needs to add new game property to the list. The game property should include the name, which will be string of the name of the attribute. So the second one should be the type, which is integer. Last one should be current angle. Now, that would basically it. If a if a game decide to have its own property, it can just first set set change the type of the attribute it want to have as a property to be the wrapper class. If it is primitive, if it's not, that's okay. So the game implementer would have to add its property setter and getter method. Next, add the game property into the properties inside the constructor, or the constructor. So here's how it runs. Default game and test game. Test game doesn't have anything. Default game have one, which is angle. Why is that? It should be delay in there. Oh well. Should there be delay in there? There is a delay in there if in the game we add new game property. First, the name delay. Second, the type. Last, okay, that should be fine. Now all the games should have delay as its property, and if it decides to add a new property, it can basically just do that by adding a game property to it. Test game doesn't add any new game property, so it would just have the delay mount, the angle. Just the warning, it doesn't show you the real time what it is. It need to refresh to get the update of the value in here. You know what I mean. So just to let you know, the display name is in display name is here, the name is here, and the description is here. So I think that should be it. It almost 40 minutes gone past. I hope I don't bore you too much on this video. So I'll be seeing you next time on part 6, the last one. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.